Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of InhabitCraft. I have just built a gold farm and a ghast farm, and as you can see, it is working, and look at that! That's all we've gotten from just one overnight AFK session. And as you can see, it's just using minecart hoppers as a collection system, where the ghasts at the top are just swept away, and as you can see, it's produced pretty well. It's not as efficient as I would like it to be, but this is just the starter ghast farm that I've been designing. So the link in the description for the tutorial video, well, let's get on with the video. As you saw in the first clip, the armor and tools that I'm using are quite different. These are custom armor texture pack that I've created, that when I name it specific things, it will change how it looks. Because this season, I'm going cottagecore, so I'm going to be the cottage queen. Excuse me, sorry, I still am a bit sick after having influenza. But yeah, this is the gold farm. It's a Gnembon design. The link for it will be, for the tutorial and the video, will be in the description. And as you can see, if I go down to the collection system, oh god, this scaffolding. You can probably hear all of the zombie pigmen right there. Gosh, it's so loud, but it's really, really efficient. I'm going to turn it onto auto kill mode, and let's have a look at this sorting system down here where all the drops are collected. It is producing, oh, this is a bad example, I guess I've raided it recently, but it's producing quite the amount of gold. As you can see, all of these chests, apart from a few, are filled with gold nuggets. Oh, that one isn't. Oops, and this one has collection for gold ingots, and then this one is the collection for one thing that actually I haven't got enough of to even start the collection, which is zombified piglins' heads. But yeah, this is the gold farm that I've that I've built. It's a Gnembon design. This is the ghast farm. The video will be in the description. It was a little bit hard to follow along with, but I got it built in the end. But yeah, that's basically most of the updates. But if we go back through into the overworld, welcome back to my industrial/villager area. As we go over here, we can see that a new building has cropped up, and this is quite a departure from my normal style. It's quite a modern building, but this is a sugarcane farm that I guess designed, where it just uses flying machines to harvest the sugarcane, and there's a daylight sensor here that randomly throughout the day it will power this observer, causing the flying machine to go back and forth. This is just a return station where I can turn it off, and the collection system is a minecart hopper, which just goes underneath everything, and it just deposits all the sugarcane in here. Surprisingly, it's quite productive compared to the amount of sugarcane I have in there. It's just that I have used a lot of the sugarcane on the rockets that I use. I have some bad news though with the villager area. One of the zombies picked up my netherite sword and died right here, so I'm gonna have to get a new zombie soon. As we go back in here, one thing I want to mention is that InhabitCraft is now updated to 1.18.2. So if you want to get my mod pack, it's now on Modrinth. Since CurseForge was having some issues with some of the mods that weren't available on CurseForge, but they all are pretty, okay with having their mods in mod packs. So those mods are now on a Modrinth pack, and you have to install AT Launcher if you want to use the mod pack. The links will be in the description. Welcome to the new shopping district, where, as you can see, I have built a firework shop. I'll just quickly take my bed back. Since I've recently built all the things that are required to make firework rockets, I now have a stock of firework rockets. Oh, come on, there we are. A stock of firework rockets in this impromptu shop that I've designed out of just some random stuff that I had. I wanted it to look like it was once a building, but then, I don't know, something exploded, and there was fire everywhere, and the rocket logo's there. And I used a bunch of stone, a bunch of copper, a bunch of endstone, a bunch of granite, and acacia, and brick. I wanted to look like a building that was kind of charred, so I added all this not smooth basalt, just basalt. There's a copper that's kind of aging. I have a bee farm, so I'm going to wax the copper at the ages that I'd like. We've got some bookshelves and some scaffolding. Looks like it's kind of just been hodgepodge repaired. And in the middle, in that center, we've got our firework rockets chest. So yeah, this is the beginning of the shopping district for this season. And if we look on the map, this is the kind of area that we're going to be using for it. And if I give you a little aerial view, if we turn around here, you can see that it's not the biggest area, but there's a secret. Down here, it's quite a large cave. Oh gosh, let me turn my brightness up so that you can actually see this. I usually play on brightness moody, so there we are. We have quite a massive cave, but this one just goes straight down. The real star of the show, or the piece de resistance, is this cave over here. It is quite large, but it does not go as deep. So we can just expand the shopping district as we see fit. But that is basically all that's happened since the last episode. But now, let's go back to recording things. I will show you the time-lapse for actually building the rocket shop, so you get a kind of sense of how I kind of build things when I'm just impromptu building them without a plan. In this episode, I want to start my shopping empire. So I've just gone and designed something in a creative test world, and as you can see from my coordinates, I am quite far away from my house. And if we open this, you can see I've been mining some calcite, and this, what's it called? Stony Peaks biome it's become a little bit bald, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transport this back home, because I've got a bunch of that now, and after I've done that, I'm going to get some deep slate and some other blocks, and once it's been designed, I want to show you, or not designed, built I guess, I want to show you my idea for my mega shopping library. So I'm back in the shopping district now, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of a teaser of what I'm about to build for my shopping empire. So I haven't collected all the resources yet, but if we turn around, if you see that schematic, that's my idea for my mega shopping library. So yeah, no, that's all you get to see. No more, no peeking. So we've got to get a bunch of deep slate, and we've got to do a bunch of villager trading after this now. So it's time to get working on that. Well, there you see it. My shopping empire library building has been built. It is quite a large build. Probably the largest build, there's a lag spike, largest build that I've done on the server yet. And yeah, I've only done the exterior. Let's look on the map. Look at that. That is massive compared to everything else I've built. Except maybe, oh no, it is bigger. It's bigger than my Sugarcane Farm as well. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty big. I have not done the interior yet, as you can see. I do have plans for the interior, but this is where I'm going to be selling all of my main goodies and the main things that I get from my farms. As you can see, the terraforming is also not done, but this is a massive undertaking. It took ages to get all the resources to do this. But first of all, before we talk anything more about that, I want to mention this rocket shop that we built last episode. Or was it this episode? It was one of them. But as you can see, we're already making a fair bit of profit from it. 14 diamonds. Let's reorganize this chest so that it's still able to be bought from, and we can open our valuables chest here, and we can put those diamonds away. We've got over a stack of diamonds now. I do need to AFK at my rocket farm more though. One thing I'm going to do before that is grab back my shulkers and my ender chest, because I have finished work on this farm here. I'm just going to quickly kill this zombie. I need to spawn-proof the shopping district, and that will be the next big project that I undertake. And I'm first going to pack up my stuff here. As you can see, there's Purp over there. Hello. Now that I've gotten all that stuff back, we can now work on lighting up the shopping district. Because if I turn this on, as you can see, all of these lighting areas are at 0. So I need to light this up, and I've bought a bunch of lanterns from my villagers, and I'm going to get to work on that now, but I won't do a time-lapse on it because that's kind of boring. With the success of the rocket shop, I also have some bad news, since in the new patch notes for the latest snapshot that came out at the time of recording this, portal-based ghast farms are being phased out. So they didn't really give information on when they would be phased out. So what I am going to do, instead of building a portal-based ghast farm, I am instead going to go back to the old faithful and build a creeper farm, but this is going to be an IanX04 design of a creeper farm, where you use scaffolding as the block for where the mobs spawn, because that removes the pathfinding from the mobs. So it just lets them flow off the water and into the killing chamber. So instead of building that portal-based Ghast farm that I originally was going to do, I'm going to stay with that starter Ghast farm for now. But when I actually need that Ghast farm, it is going to have to be a creeper farm. So you might be wondering why I've built this big hole at the back of my sugarcane farm, and that's because this, when it is done, will be a bamboo farm leading into a super smeltery. And that's going to be very exciting to have, as currently my super smelter, if you can even call it that, is just this system here, where we've got 2 furnaces with 2 chests at the top, and 2 chests going into the fuel section, into this chest, and outputting if I want to put a shulker box here. And that's how I got all of the smooth quartz for the build that I did at the shopping district. And that took a long time, so I got fed up with that, and I thought, okay, what's a good way of getting lots and lots of fuel very quickly? And what I eventually decided on was making some sort of bamboo farm. And this is going to be linked to the same clock as the sugarcane farm, which is not really a clock, it's really just this, which I really like the fact that I came up with this last season. Oh no, 2 seasons ago actually, where whenever the daylight sensor activates, an observer detects that, sends a pulse into a redstone torch, and launches off a flying machine. I will also be creating a better way of collecting the drops than this, where I'll have like a mine cart per channel or something like that, and I'm going to start by, I guess, figuring out where the torches need to be to make a consistent light level. So as you probably know, I mentioned pretty recently that the little Ghast farm I had just kind of wasn't cutting it. So you know what I built? I built this, the IanX04 designed, easy starter, instant, hyper-efficient, scaffolding-based creeper and general mob farm. So there's a lot of spawning platforms up here. So if I go down here, you can see that after I flick this lever, that then reactivates the farm. And when it depowers, we can now see if I go into the free cam, that these platforms get flushed, and all the mobs that were on them, as you can see, now start to fall and then land on top of this killing area here. And it's mental. And so how this works is that these 2 hopper minecarts go around collecting everything from the ground, and then there's hopper minecarts trapped inside those blocks, and all the drops go in here. And I've run this for like less than like 5 minutes even. I'm going to turn it back off again. But now I can restock my rocket shop a lot more quickly, and also you might be wondering, oh, what happens if you break this? Wouldn't it break the entire farm? It would only break the activation mechanism, because it's got trapdoors on every level holding it up. Some of the polarity of the water flushing kind of broke, but we don't need to worry about that because they're just going to stay there and despawn. I have no other mob farms here, so I don't need to worry. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is that on scaffolding, if mobs spawn on scaffolding, it disables their pathfinding. So they just get easily swept off the edge, which is another thing that contributes to it moving so quickly and being so efficient. So yeah, this is such a good design. I'll leave a link to it in the description. IanX04 has made some really great farm designs, like the stacking raid farm you probably all know. So yeah, that's that farm down, done, and dusted. So if you remember a little bit earlier in this episode, I built this big building here, which is going to be my shopping empire for this season of InhabitCraft. The interior is still not done, but I've just brought 4 shulker boxes of terraforming stuff, so let's hope that that's enough stuff to do some pretty cool terraforming for this build. I'm thinking like a little cliff that like overhangs, and we can have a path going around here, and then up into the center. So yeah, let's get this terraforming project underway. Now, after that time-lapse is now officially done, we have created, or I have created, this, I'm pretty proud of this, I haven't done terraforming in so long, but there's this really nice walkway up to the shop entrance, which I still haven't done anything on, and as you probably also noticed, yeah, haven't done the back either. But the main thing is people are going to come in here through this portal, and then when they walk out, what are they going to see? They're going to see that, and I think that is a great view. I'm really proud of a bunch of this stuff that I've done here. I haven't terraformed in ages, so I'm really proud of it, how this came out. There's a bunch of deep slate and a little bit of deep slate redstone. There's tuff, there's dirt, there's grass, there's stone, there's cobblestone. You probably didn't even notice that, because back here, it just looks like a color in the color gradient, see? But yeah, that's stone and cobblestone. And then we've also got, surprisingly, down here, probably also didn't notice this, polished granite and also more dirt. We've got a bunch of rose bushes around the place. We've got a custom tree up here. I'm going to thicken up this trunk a little bit more, give it a little bit more variation, but I kind of ran out of birch, but from here, the main angle, it looks fine, so I don't really need to worry about behind it. There's a bunch of detail everywhere. I've got different tiers of the grass, like plateaus, and yeah, still haven't done the back of it, but I'm really proud of how this front looks. And yeah, we now have the main areas for the shopping empire built up, and the main walkways to the shopping empire built up. And sadly, that's all we have time for in this episode. I'm sorry that this one took forever. As you probably know, I got COVID, and then influenza, and then school kind of caught up with me. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed some of the big builds I did this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.